Welcome to Julie the Thrifty Designer. Hey, today I am going to show you a little bit of the decorating that I have been able to do. Stay tuned. Hey guys, well, I'm going to show you a nativity scene that I have put on my dining room buffet. So all of my Christmas decorations are packed away, and you're wondering probably, where am I getting all of this? Well, I have said I have borrowed from some, but this one, my neighbors were selling their house, and when they moved, they had a free-for-all garage sale, so to speak. It just donations or just take it for free. And they had this nativity scene, a few ornaments, some stockings, and a Christmas tree that I'm not using. My daughter decided she was going to take. And this was in there. And so I'm using the nativity scene because all of mine are packed away. And after Christmas, more than likely, I will give this one to my daughter if she wants it. But anyway, I thought I'd take you through it step by step. Look what a sweet one this really. All right, let's start with the angel here on top. Well, I wanted her up here, for she was designed to just be down here. And you know, it's okay, it looks fine. She's kneeling over baby Jesus and it looks great, but I just didn't like her there. I wanted her up here. Well, it's a peak. If you can see back here, it was a peak. It goes down from there. So I took some popsicle sticks and made a little stand and hot glued it to the top. It's solid, it's not going anywhere. And now all I have to do is set her right there on top. And in front of it, to help disguise it just a little bit at least, I put a couple of berries and some greenery. And then from there, I also took more of the popsicle sticks and built this little out thing, and behind it, you can go behind it, see? So that I can put the Christmas light shining up to the angel to light her up at night, and then the rest can kind of hang down and help light up this whole area. And so I've just put them kind of in just the traditional way. There's Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus, and since it's the barn, of course we got the barn animals, and there's their donkey, and here's a lamb and a shepherd. And then it's tradition in these nativity scenes to have the three wise men show up there. But really, they were already in a hotel, a house, or something by the time they came. They didn't actually come to the stable, and that might surprise some of you. But if you really read the Bible, they came a little bit later when they followed the star. But the shepherds came the night Jesus was born. Joseph wasn't going to leave Mary and the newborn baby in a stable for a long period of time. It says when the wise men came, they came to the house. But it says when the shepherds came, they came to where the babe was lying in a manger. So Joseph had already moved Mary and Jesus into a house, a hotel, or whatever it was in those days. So to have the kings there visiting in nativity scenes is really not true, but it sure makes for beautiful traditions, and it looks really nice. And so I've done traditional because it looks good. Now the greenery I have put here on each side is actually from the Christmas tree that you saw the video that I made before Thanksgiving. I made it the Thanksgiving tree, and I wanted it to be sparse. And remember how I wrapped up the middle of the tree, the burlap and stuff, to make it look more like a tree trunk down the middle? And I only used part of the branches. These are the leftover ones, and I have them all over the house. It worked out amazing for me because now I have touches of greenery that I didn't use in that Christmas tree that I was able to use to decorate around the house. And I did the same thing throughout the house. It looks now amazing. Up here, which is literally right above the nativity scene, I took, again, one of those branches. And to it, I put a red bow at the top of it and a pick that I did pick up at Hobby Lobby that has bells on it and this other greenery. And I just wired them together is all I did. And then hung them on my picture on the wall right here. Such a simple look, yet very effective and pretty. And on this side over here, my husband has a collection of lanterns. And so I need to pack them up eventually anyway, so I took them off the back porch on where he'd had them, and I'm using them in different places in the house. So his hair is one of them. I just thought because it was red, and it looks kind of like maybe something they may have had back in those days to put a light in to light their way. And I just added it to it. Now on this side, my husband had one of these containers that has a beautiful deer on it, and you could put stuff in it. And I didn't have another lantern to put right there to balance the red one, so I just thought, well, why not just put a deer? Maybe off in the distance there was a deer wondering what's going on with the birth of Jesus. Just a thought. But I think it really goes very well and very gorgeous. Also, when I made this, I also put a pine cone underneath it, just hanging with a pipe cleaner, and I put a simple little star. I know it's just a little itty bitty thing. It isn't as impressive as the star really was, but at this point, that's what I have. And I have it hanging over the nativity for the wise men to follow. So here's how it looks from a distance so you can see it. It just has a very simple yet elegant and pretty little Christmas look. Now, I'm going to show you a little highlights of my son, my daughter-in-law, and my other daughter, granddaughter, making, it looks like gingerbread cookies, but they're actually made from cinnamon and applesauce, and what we did to make those. And then stay tuned from here, and you will see the nighttime scenes of what this looks like at night. Wow, is it? Okay, we are now making cinnamon and applesauce dough. And when it's done, it looks a lot like gingerbread. And boy, does this smell good. But we're having problems getting it to mixture right so it's not too wet or too dry and crumbly. So this time we've cracked an egg in it to give it a try to see if it will roll out better, because what we've been doing just seems to be really a pain. So I started putting egg mixture on top to hold it hopefully together. Maybe this time the egg will help bind it. It's worth a try. Here's what we have already made with the pre-dough, and the pre-dough was so crumbly, so I beat up an egg, and I have brushed them on it, and I'm just letting it sit, and hopefully it'll bake and hold it together, but we will see on these. Hopefully the other ones that we're making will be. Well, does it appear to roll out nicer so far?
That remains to be seen until I remove the paper, I suppose.
Okay, because I know you said it felt like a better dough.
It felt a little bit better.
It looks like a better dough, looking at it. It has a much softer texture. It definitely does not have a flour texture like you would think. And so we're over here working on these. And then we're sprinkling cinnamon on top, which will give it a really beautiful color too. And then it'll help.
I think I like that better.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to tell what it's going to be. So now we've been making sure that we are cleaning off all the excessive stuff off of the cookie dough or cookie cutter, and then we're going to dip it in actual dry cinnamon.
Yep. And you want to place it there?
Sure. And then place it wherever you think it go. I think it looks really good.
A little thin on the edges, so.
Well, it'll be all right. We can give it a try and see what we think of it. I like it a lot. And so now we're having, it breaks loose pretty easy though still, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's kind of the way that I did it though.
Well, is it holding up?
Remains to be seen, I suppose.
Oh, and then you put it underneath it so it sits on the parchment paper better?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, and you forgot to put the...
Okay, I'll put the whole back.
Oh, you put the whole... Okay, wouldn't it be easier to leave it in there?
Yeah,
And then
I forgot
dust
to
the
do that.
bottom of it, and then...
I forgot to do that.
He said, we're trying to put holes in it, and the other ones, when we put the holes in it, just crumbled. So we've learned if we leave the cookie cutter on it, and then do it, it holds it in place better. That looks really nice. Well, let's hope and pray that the egg did the difference. All right, we're messing around here a little bit more with them. And making up some more of these. I'm hoping they'll work. I'm looking forward to seeing them dry. But what you do is you put them in the oven after you get them made at 250 degrees for about 2 hours-ish. Thereabouts. You know, I would have just still left it around this. And instead of putting it back on
I
it.
already put the hole in.
Oh, you already did the hole already?
Yeah, I already did the hole.
Oh, well, then what are you putting it back on him for?
I don't know, because you wanted to.
Because I didn't realize you had already done the hole.
Yep.
Okay. See, and we just use something like that, but if it's without the cookie cutter around it, it crumbles.
Yep. Don't have much in
And
way.
now what we're doing is just brushing on a little egg. And it'll absorb into it, and hopefully it'll bind it in such a way. We're experimenting here, folks. You'll learn with us what we're doing here. That's a dinosaur. A T-Rex, isn't it?
I suppose it could be.
I don't know what it is. It's not supposed to be a dinosaur.
Yo.
We have a little choo-choo train, and it's so cute. Little gingerbread guys. So hopefully these will work amazing. But they're going to take at least 2 hours to dry in the oven. Depends on how well we did, whether it's going to work or not.
We'll see.
We will see. So, have you had fun doing this?
Indeed, I have.
Good, I'm glad. It looks pretty neat, I think. All right, now we've got them in the oven. So now we'll wait and see. Okay, guys, it's the next day, and they've already been cooked. It did take just a little over 2 hours. And the egg wash gave them a little bit of a shine, but they are firm. It worked out great. And basically what it is you take cinnamon and applesauce and you mix them together until, I can't tell you the ratios because we just had to dump and pour. We just poured as much cinnamon over the applesauce that we could do to make it into the dough. And that's all it was. That one had that on it. Here's one. These are one of the first ones where we didn't mix the egg with it. And you can see where it was crumbled up here. And it's ultimately fine, but I think the egg was better. So what we did was we took applesauce, and here's what we used. We just used one of these Lunchable snack size ones like that, and then dumped all the dumped the cinnamon on it that we needed to make it become like dough. And mix those together, but we found it was just so crumbly, and as you could see on that one, the shape of it just really isn't as nice as some of the little bit later ones. So we then decided to crack one egg in with this and then adjust it with the cinnamon powder, and it did make it firm up, and it did make a better quality egg. So for my opinion, it should be a 3-ingredient, not 2, and they still smell good. They have this delightful cinnamon smell. So it worked out, and it worked out well. I hope this gave you some ideas on how you can present your nativity in a very simple but yet elegant way, using not much to make it beautiful. So I just want to again say to all of you, thank you so much for watching. And you all take care, and God bless, and happy decorating, and Merry Christmas.